Hello and welcome to the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host, Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about We Need to Do Something by Max Booth III. This is from Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to start doing these videos again. Max Booth III is an author who's been on my periphery for a little bit. I'd heard about him. I've seen some of his books on Amazon and here and there, but hadn't pulled the trigger on getting any of his stuff yet. And then a few weeks ago, as of this recording, he was on the Horror Show with Brian Keene podcast, and I thought he was a funny, interesting guy. And he's got a couple podcasts of his own, Castle Rock Radio, where he and his co-hosts talk about Stephen King. I have not listened to that one yet, but he has another podcast called Ghoulish, which I have been listening to quite a lot. It's incredibly entertaining. They're generally about 30 minutes long. He's got guests on, and they talk about anything spooky related. And again, Max Booth, very, very funny. So I thought I'd finally pick up some of his work, and this is a brand new book, 2020, right there. Doesn't give a month, but when he was on Brian Keene podcast, he said it was brand new. So I ordered it and picked it up and read it, and frankly, was blown away. It's not a thick book. Just a little tiny thing. Let's see. Checking page count. 150 pages. Quick read. And basically, it's about this family. You've got mom and dad. You've got Mel, a high school aged girl, who is our main character. She has a younger brother, Bobby. They live in Texas. There's a tornado warning. So they all pile into this little bathroom. And I'm not giving anything away when I say a tree falls down right in front of the bathroom door, and they become trapped inside this little tiny bathroom. And just lots of crazy family drama and other things ensue. They're not a very happy family. Dad's an alcoholic, and he did bring a thermos of alcohol with him, but that doesn't last long. They have no food. They have some games to play, but you know, how long is that going to last when you're trapped inside a tiny bathroom with people that hate each other? It just blew me away, this book. The characters are well done. They're not not all likable characters, but they're incredibly well written, and they'll get under your skin. At least some of them. A lot of what's in this book is going to get under your skin. It's very, I don't want to say over the top, because that's not quite right, but it's very hard hitting as things slowly deteriorate, and you know, they're hungry and they're thirsty and they're in this horrible situation, and you know, emotions are running high, and Bobby's young enough that you know, he's freaking out at different things, and mom and dad hate each other. Dad's hasn't had anything to drink in a while, so you know how that can be. And Mel, as I don't want to say a typical teenage girl, but you know, teenagers, high strung, and there's some flashbacks to some things that went on before they were trapped in the bathroom, dealing with Mel. And there may or may not be a supernatural element to the story. Who's to say? You're going to have to read it and find out for yourself. All I can really say is this, man, I'm a fan of Max Booth III with this book. I've already purchased two of his other books. One's a little older, one is another brand new one with a fantastic cover. So I'm sure I'll be showing that to you sometime soon once I read it. It looks amazing. But his writing style, nice, crisp, clean. He's not overly wordy, which is something that can be annoying. He gets to the point. He's telling his story. It's relatively straightforward. Again, there are some elements that are a little ambiguous, perhaps. I don't know. I don't want to give anything away. You need to read it for yourself. But the characters are, again, well written. The family dynamics seem realistic. And I don't want to say too much. When you have a book that's only 150 pages, I find it difficult to know what I can and can't say without giving anything away. I mean, what can I do besides just highly, highly recommend this book? Absolutely fantastic. It's who, if you're familiar with some of Jack Ketchum's work, he's got some stories that are a gut punch, and Nate Southard, some of the early stuff that he wrote. That's kind of the feeling I got with this. Wrath James White, because there's horror that I like pulpy horror, and I love monsters and gore and violence, and there's psychological horror, which this is closer to, I suppose, but it's a horror of circumstance. I think maybe that's the best way to put it. Again, it's all just in this little tiny bathroom. Makes me think of my bathroom right over there in a different room. It's described as just having a sink, a toilet, a shower bathtub combo, and I kind of pictured the bathroom over there. You can't see it, unless you can see through the walls. But even so, the camera's not angled. Anyway, so it's there aren't monsters, or are there? There aren't demonic forces, or are there? Don't know. You're gonna have to read it. The crux of it is just the what's going on in this enclosed space. This isn't 127 hours. No one can just cut their arm off and get away. They are trapped, and they are going to clash, and it is rough. There are parts of this book for people that couldn't get through Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door in one sitting, for people that couldn't get through Survivor by J.F. Gonzalez in one sitting. This is shorter than those, but again, I think it's gonna have that gut punch feel. Not sure how else to put it. It's gonna hit you in the solar plexus. So I don't know what else to say. Just buy it, read it, enjoy it. I guess that's the right word. Again, do you enjoy a book like this? I do. We need to do something. Max Booth III, absolutely an author I'm going to read more of. I'm going to keep listening to his podcast. I'm going to start listening to his other podcast. Be sure to check out Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing. They have all sorts of different authors and stuff, and I'm going to check out more from them as a publisher. That's it. I don't know what else to say. So, how do I end these things? If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.